The New South Wales coast is being battered again for the second time in as many weeks. Heavy rain, gusty winds and a huge surf is on the forecast. For the latest, reporters Madeline Lewis is in Newcastle and Mary Louise Vince is in Wombrel on the Central Coast. Maddie, let's talk to you first. We saw wild conditions last night around where you are and even some rescues. What's been going on?
Yeah, that's right, Nate. Look, there were several rescues. The SES were called to over 150 jobs, and one of the biggest ones was a bus that actually drove into floodwater. The driver apparently didn't see the water until the bus was in it. The water was up to the bus's windows, and fire and rescue crews were nearby assisting 3 people stuck on the roof of a car when they got rediverted to help the SES, who had to rescue 10 people, 10 passengers from this bus, including a child. We're being told that they used a small boat called the Archangel to get those people off the bus. Obviously a very scary experience for them. Now, there was also extreme flooding in a suburb called Mayfield. There was water everywhere around the streets. Drivers had to be incredibly careful. Over in Lambton, there were 5 people rescued from 2 homes after a metre of water inundated those homes. We're also hearing about people stranded near their cars at Hunter Stadium, at least 15 there that were calling for help. So a series of flood rescues, at least 10 that the SES were called to around the Hunter after more than 150 millimetres of rain.
Wow, these East Coast lows are notorious. What are we expecting today for that region?
Yeah, look, the rain isn't as heavy as we saw yesterday, but there's still showers, as you can see around me. It's quite windy. I'm at Nobby's Beach in Newcastle, where it's low tide, but the waves are still quite messy, and we are expecting really dangerous surf and much bigger waves, up to 5 metres. We're expecting that kind of weather to go into tomorrow. It will calm down around Wednesday and Thursday, though. In the meantime, everyone's being urged to stay safe and not drive through any floodwater.
And if we're talking about big seas, well, we need to go to Wombrel for sure. Mary Louise, how are people feeling there after all that coastal erosion last week? Is there anyone even left?
There is actually one person, Nate, where I'm standing here on the balcony of a resident here in Wombrel. She's one of the only few that's allowed to be here on this stretch where the homes are their stability's really being compromised. And standing on the balcony, looking at the beach, you can probably hear it. It's low tide now, but the weather is starting to come in, and you can see that the waves are really starting to come into the shore. The owner of the house here has been videoing the seas over the weekend. As you may have heard, emergency stabilization works have been carried out here around the clock for about 5 days. They've been brought 900 tonnes of rocks to this region to be put in front of this house, as well as about 18 other homes along this stretch of Wombrel Beach, right on the escarpment along the shoreline line, to shore it up ahead of this weather that is starting to hit us now. And as I say, at low tide, you can see that the waves are already starting to lap at those rocks, and need I say, some of those rocks are already starting to be displaced.
900 tonnes, it sounds like a lot, but it's really just a tiny little bit against all that power of the ocean. Any idea how big the waves are forecast for today?
The swell's expected to get between 4 and 6 metres. The hazardous surf conditions have been forecast. At the moment, it's starting to sprinkle. It's starting to become very foggy out there. And then all eyes will be also looking on the tide. We have a high tide at around 2 o'clock this afternoon, another high tide at around 2 tomorrow morning, and that is what our residents and authorities are very nervous about. The homes along here, we've already seen 2 collapse into the sea. There are another 18 that are very unstable. This stretch can only withstand a couple of more East Coast lows. This is our second in less than 2 weeks. So as you can imagine, homeowners along here, as well as people that are living behind them in Wombrel, are very nervous.
Mary Louise, please step back from the edge of that balcony for us. Thank you very much for the update there. Maddie, you as well. Please stay safe, both of you, and we'll keep an eye on the situation along the East Coast through the rest of the day today and tomorrow. Michael and Lisa, some more wild weather to come.